200 Realty here in the Orlando area. This is my husband and real estate partner, Sidney Galloway with Remax 200 here in the Orlando, Florida area. Our contact information is sydneykimgalloway@gmail.com. My number is 407-312-5473. Sydney's number?
407-421-9990. Hey, good Thursday afternoon to you. This is Sidney, and I have in my hands some market stats, recent stats. I'm certainly not going to share all these, Kim, right now, but I just wanted to we wanted to touch base. It's been interesting holiday season and start to the new year, but we're almost through January, and the new year is rolling along. We want to talk to you a little bit about our local market and what's happening and what's I find interesting, and maybe this will be interesting to you. Now, we know that Florida is one of the top places for people to be moving to.
Number 2 after Texas.
And buying homes, and yet Florida's been super desirable for a long, long
Yes,
time.
it has.
We moved here in all transparency in 1997, began real estate right away, and we've seen some different markets, Kim. The market in the late 90s was different from the market in the 2000s, and 16 years ago when our market kind of had this drop in inventory, it was different from the way it is today. And then 10 years ago, our market hit bottom with all the short sales and foreclosures. This is a very different market, not simply because there are so many realtors and so few single family homes for sale, but it's a different market because our builders are building and building and building. and where they can find a couple of acres of land, or 10 acres or 50 acres, their homes going in. With good planning, great conservation efforts, but they're building a lot of homes. So that new construction inventory doesn't really show up in our MLS. Now, Kim, something interesting here, looking at these market stats. I look at new listings and I look at new contracts. And when I look at new listings, I see that for the past 6 months, that is July through December, that we were actually listing more single-family homes for sale than we did for the final 6 months of 2019.
Okay.
And sometimes 100 more homes, sometimes 200 more homes, sometimes even 300 more homes. But we also were writing more contracts, and that's where the numbers are extraordinary. And so that's why the inventory of single-family homes, not condos and not townhomes, but single-family homes, that's why the inventory has dropped. When we compare month to month with new contracts, we see that we beat the previous month in December to December 2019 by 400 homes. November, we beat the previous November by 200 homes. October, we beat October of 2019 by 700 more new contracts. And these are contracts on homes in our MLS. The same is true in September, 400 more contracts. August, 400 more contracts. And in July, 300 more contracts. So we saw a lot of contracts. Now, our inventory is not going to shrink to nothing. We have to be fair about this. There are a lot of folks that thought about selling last year and put that off. And we have some home sellers this year that we're talking to that are looking to put their homes up for sale. So we're going to have a good market. We're going to have plenty of inventory. Kim, what are you seeing for this year, and what do you think, where's your time going to be? I guess I should leave it there.
Well, right now, Sidney, I'm spending the majority of my time with new home builds. Buyers that are building homes. Now, this market stats obviously answer that question, that we don't have as many pre-existing homes for sale. So, and there are a lot of buyer choices, and interest rates are low. So people are choosing to build homes with the builders. And so right now I'm spending a lot of time at design centers, helping people, picking out what they want to put in their home. I'm meeting with them for pre-construction meetings, doing walkthroughs with them. A lot of people want to have an independent home done, which I think is always a great idea, before they take possession of that home. And so that is what I'm spending a lot of my time on right now.
I have
Yes.
two questions. So, when you go, and I don't want to name any particular builder, there are a lot of great builders in
We
Central
have
Florida.
a ton
But
of
let's
great
just
builders.
say builder ABC, and that builder has salespeople, sales consultants, consistently super delightful, knowledgeable, helpful. But who does that sales consultant work for?
They work for the builder.
Okay.
That's right.
So you're coming in and you're able to help a customer compare
Yes.
builder A with builder B with builder C and compare it to existing inventory homes.
Yes, and maybe
Why is
help-
that valuable?
It's valuable because I may be able to help them to ask some questions and think about some things they might not normally think about when
Okay.
they're dealing with the builders.
Okay.
So it can be very, very helpful. Also, when you're looking at a pre-existing home, especially if you're targeting a certain area, I have a lot of knowledge about what you should hope is in that pre-existing home versus what you're going to get in a new home product.
Okay, I can
And
see
is it worth
that's an
buying
advantage.
this home and updating some things in it versus just going ahead and building a new home?
Like quartz versus laminate
Correct.
countertops, things
Or
like that.
granite countertops versus quartz.
When you help somebody buy a new home, doesn't that drive up the price of the home?
No, the builder loves working with us, and that cost is not passed on
So
to the buyer.
it doesn't cost a purchaser of a new home anything to
Nope.
use your expertise.
Nope. No.
Now, if I can share a little bit of plug, I think it would cost the customer, the buyer, if they use somebody who is not experienced or who sits around in the office making phone calls. I think that because they're not out seeing the homes, walking properties, talking to contractors, and I think it would cost you. You could have a BBF, and we see this all the time, just got a license, fantastic person, wonderful person, well-dressed, nice late model car, super smile, and all the technology. But
They don't have the experience.
they don't know homes. They can't offer opinions because they haven't been there. We have between us shown over 30,000 homes, and that seems like a lot of homes, but it's been for me since 1997, and for you since 2001.
I don't know. One.
2001. So we're tooting our own horn a little bit, but let me just share this that I find with you and with myself. I love it. And I'm more excited about real estate, residential real estate today than I was a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years
And
ago.
just something I want to add to that, I've been in 6 different build design centers in the last 3 months.
Okay,
and
it's a lot.
I'm constantly in these design centers. I'm seeing what is being built. I'm looking at the spec and inventory homes builders are already pre-planning.
Okay,
So
Sure.
I'm seeing what they're putting in their new homes. And it can be invaluable to someone who's never built before. For me to come alongside them and say, well, you may like this. This is what is in the majority of the new homes. So you might want to consider this over that. And I
Makes good
also
sense.
like to spend a lot of time researching the trends to come. Like I've been researching kitchens and bathrooms for 2022, paint colors. And those kinds of things are very valuable when you're in a design center building a home and you're not sure what stone to get, what flooring to get. And that's
Makes
a
good sense.
responsibility that I have to stay on top of all this.
Now, when you do this, or when we do it, it also helps us work with our customers who are going to put their home up for sale, because we can tell them
Yes.
what buyers are looking for. I don't think it's possible to know the mind and habits of buyers simply by going to conferences, doing Zoom calls, and getting information.
No,
in
you
there.
need
I
to
think
be
you have to be
working
out,
with them, and you
You have to be
need
out.
to be in these homes.
showing properties.
Yes,
So not to cut you off here because we're not going to make this too super long. We're going to see a great year this year.
Absolutely.
We think inventory is going to tick up. We think by the end of the year, our interest rates might tick up a little bit. Right now, they're just like super crazy low, and we've been saying that for a long, long time. But it is very, very low. And something interesting here, real quick, Kim. We're finishing up January, but in January and December, in each month, we had a couple of open houses.
Yes.
And what was interesting about those is, first of all, people were not just lined up at the door trying to get into the open house. Some people are concerned because of COVID, so we would be super careful to limit traffic, wear masks, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for one of our open houses, we had a neighbor and one couple come through.
Mm-hmm.
We did another one, correct me, where we had like 10 groups come through. That was a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two, I think, 4 or 5 or 6 for each
Right.
one, something
Right.
like that. So I share this because buyers are looking at the new homes, and they're looking what's going to come, and they're looking what's available. And many buyers have the option of having time. They're already
Right.
working from home now, wherever
Right.
they live, even if it's in Central Florida, and they're probably going to continue working at home or possibly working at home. So wrap this up. What kind of year do you think we're going to have?
I think that we're going to have a phenomenal year in real estate in Central Florida.
Believe
It's a
so.
great place to live. I mean, today, look at the weather.
It's low
just
60s. We
There's
do have
sunshine.
sweaters on there.
about 363 days a year, and it
363
is
days
hot
a
in
year.
summer, but it's a great place to live. We're open for business here in Florida,
Yes.
and
amen to
people
that.
are careful and respectful of other people's health
Very
and
much.
space. But
Very much.
we're open for business. Our restaurants are open. It's a great place to just sit out and have a meal and enjoy the fresh air.
True.
We have so many beautiful birds, animals. It's just a great quality of life. So if you're from another state, another town, another area, don't hesitate to give us a call. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
To answer your questions about how can I go about doing this? How can I go about moving? What's it going to be like? What should I expect? That's what we're here for.
Cool.
And you have our information, so we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Kim Galloway, Sidney Galloway, Sidney Kim Galloway at gmail.com. I am 407-421-9990.
407-312-5473.